Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Smells like bliss in the studio. Wow. I think I overdid it. I did. Oh, jeez. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Blissed? Dr. Shealy, are you blissed?
I ever blessed. It's pleasure to have you back. Can't stand the rain outside today, huh?
You know, I was talking with a farmer and about miles away, and he said, "You getting any rain out there?" we haven't had more than 6 days of no rain in 10 weeks. It's amazing, and the mold. Dr. Shealy, the mold is starting to grow. The barns are damp, and it's a problem. It really is. So, do we have a medical solution for dealing with the mold that's a result of some of this rain?
Well, I don't know in big places how you do it. Obviously, Nixol is one way of combating mold once you've got it. But other than blow dry, I don't know how to take the mold away.
It's a pretty big county. The Ozarks are pretty big to blow dry.
Well, I looked it up again this morning. You know, they have a list of the cities in this country that have the, quote, most erratic weather. And at the top of the list for many years has been Springfield. And all of the top 10 are in the Midwest.
Well, we see it. I mean, it is absolutely erratic here. Our road washed out. And you've been down our road to the dirt road off the paved road, and it washed out to the point where it was the road that you could actually drive on was 3 feet wide, literally, and both sides had collapsed and washed away. And Mrs. Finelli was standing in the ditch, and I would say the ditch was about 4 feet deep. So she was standing down there. You could only see half of her because she was standing up where the road used to be. So we took a picture of this, and maybe she doesn't like to have her picture taken, but maybe I can somehow get that posted on the website so you can see how bad the road was. But it was wide enough for a four-wheeler to get through, but for a truck or a car, the wheels would be in the ditch on both sides. So the underpan of the vehicle would be dragging on the road. So it was just not wide enough to drive. It was a real problem, and it took several days and a lot of equipment for them to come out and fix this. Dr. Shealy, I have been doing some research on the internet, and one of the most frequent search words right now is suicide. What is going on why are people looking into suicide? Are they, I'm wondering, are they contemplating it, or are they just interested in, morbid events?
Well, I think it's probably because of the pharmacomafia's increasing influence on brain function. Every known mood to drug, not a single exception, whether it's for anxiety or depression or whatever, increases the risk of suicide. So it's growing. And the other thing that I've received about 4 emails about in the last week is 4 so-called alternative doctors who have been reported as mysteriously suddenly committing suicide in odd ways, with the suspicion that they were murdered by the establishment, and it was pretended that it's a suicide. So, there's something going on, as usual, nefarious in this country.
Mm-hmm. One of our instructors, his name is Dennis Shealy. He was on the air with us yesterday, and he was telling us the events that happened to his son. And Dennis Shealy wrote a book called Attorneys Above the Law. Attorneys Above the Law. And he explains how the system is corrupt in no uncertain terms. Well, his son got attacked, if you will, by the Blue Plague, the police in Tennessee, at his home, at his son's home. His son came home, and the police pulled into the driveway, accused him of speeding. He said no, he wasn't speeding, and the police accused him of speeding, and at 14 miles an hour above the speed limit, and arrested him and took him to jail. And it's believed that Dennis believes that his son is in harm's way and may actually be murdered. And the link, of course, would be that Dennis Shealy, the father, wrote this book, Attorneys Above the Law. So Dennis Shealy's cat was killed, skinned, and placed on his front yard, mafia style, to let them know that these kind of things can escalate.
Yes.
This is the kind of stuff that's happening. And I got a call just before this broadcast from a lady who was a nurse. Her husband is a doctor. And she says she's going to call in. And the Department of Justice came down on them, and they ultimately closed their doctor's office just outside of Branson, or in Branson, this week. They closed it because their bank accounts have been seized. And so, do you know a doctor who taught the class at the Get Prepared Expo on suturing? Did you meet him? His name is Jim.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, she may call in. She said she was going to call in and tell us the story about how they came after her. And so here's the question for you, Dr. Shealy, that tie into that. Do you know other medical doctors, DOs, DOs who have been approached, attacked by the government and forced to shut down, or their accounts have been seized, or they've been put into prison for some reason or another? And I'm not talking about, deliberate misconduct. I'm not talking about, bilking the system. I'm not talking about insurance theft or any of that. I'm just talking about medical doctors or DOs who have been beat up by the system for other reasons.
I don't personally know any, although, I see stories about it on the internet. Mm-hmm. Just as the one that I saw just last night. I said a couple of my friends, one about some doctor I don't know, but he was some kind of alternative physician who supposedly shot himself in the chest on the edge of a river and fell in. Now that does not sound like an unusual way to try to commit suicide.
I've never heard of anything like that. Usually the person's in a comfortable position, sitting in a
that's
chair.
What makes it suspicious is body found in the river with a gunshot through the heart. I mean, come on, that's bizarre. So I sent a note to two of my close friends and said, if I'm suddenly found like that, please know I have no intention. There is no circumstance under which I would commit suicide. Fight it.
Yeah, and the same goes with me. And I've said that on the air, and a number of our instructors are in harm's way. So I don't know any of them who would really do it. I really don't. So keep that in mind, class. So if you read that it happens to any of us, we didn't do it.
Well, that brings me to the idea of not whether but when. I mean, look how long Greece has been on the brink. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's only the tip of a huge, gigantic problem worldwide. In 2008, when the little crash occurred, mm-hmm. Derivatives outweighed known value of everything on Earth. There was something like $1.46 quadrillion of derivatives with only 1.25 quadrillion of known assets in the world. The derivatives, of course, have doubled in the last 7 years. So now we have over twice as much totally junk monopoly money as real assets, and that's not just money, but all known assets. So the question is, how long is it going to take for the whole world to collapse financially?
Well, Dr. Shealy, let me just hint around the edges of that. I was on the phone with one of our instructors from Europe, and he told me that they're having trouble getting spare parts. Major manufacturer spare parts. There are shortages of spare parts. And for example, let's say on your vehicle, you drive an SUV. If something as simple as a serpentine belt that runs around the alternator, the crankshaft, and the water pump, if that serpentine belt fails, and with an American car, that could be maybe a $15 to $25 part. If that part fails, your car isn't going to go very far. You might get 4 miles before the engine seizes up. So, for $20, a part that's worth $20, you could be absolutely down. That vehicle isn't going anywhere. If you can't get replacement filters, now your vehicle can certainly run without an air filter. And if you live on a dusty road, it might not last more than a few months before the grit and grime from the dust from the road eats away at the moving parts in the combustion chamber. But we are at the mercy of the supply chain for simple parts like fuel filters, simple parts like radiator caps, coolant, motor oil, fuel, tires, tire valve stems, even the hoses that we use to inflate our tires. It's going to be really tough without these supply parts. And I can see the unraveling now, and I'm in I won't say panic, but darn close to getting all the parts that we need to stay in business at the farm, including fuel tanks, oil, filters, hoses, hydraulic hoses, belts. The list goes on. And I'm getting spare parts for everything I can. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at idstronghold.com look fantastic.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Dr. Shealy, if one of us goes to a search engine and types in the name Ed, E-D, the first search result on Google comes up with Cialis. Okay, that's a and what's happening is Viagra prescriptions, according to my research, are up 25% in 12 months. 25% in 12 months. And that ties with what you've been saying for years, Dr. Shealy, that men are having these problems as a result of the medications that they're taking. And it's just, you're just way, way, way ahead of the curve, announcing that, for years you've been saying this.
Well, if you consider that 40% of adults are on any hypertensive drugs, there's 40% of people. If you consider that a minimum of 20% of people are on antidepressant drugs, a lot more than that depressed, but 20% on the drugs, well, there's another 20% of people who are going to have ED just from those two sets of drugs alone.
Yeah.
And so there's 60% of men who have ED just because of drugs, and that doesn't even count the normal, health problems.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Shealy. When I lived in Virginia, my medical doctor was a little over 80 years old, 80. And I believed, and his office, his office was at the end of a hall, and he was just a solo practitioner. So he had his secretary or receptionist and him. There's just the two of them. And it was an old-fashioned doctor's office, and all of his equipment was from the 40s, 50s, 60s. There was nothing new there, including his desk and his medical cabinet. Everything. Everything was, decades old. And I believe that he had his desk at the end of the hall so he could watch his patients walk from the waiting room that 30 feet, 35 feet down into the examination room, so he could see their gait, their posture, whether or not they shuffled, so forth, whether they leaned, whether they used a cane. All of those things, I believe, was part of his diagnosis, but, no one really knew that. I guess the question I'm asking is, do we still do that? Do we still watch our patients, as medical doctors to see how their posture is and then use that as part of the diagnosis?
Well, as a matter of fact, the very first thing I usually do after I've talked with a patient is have them stand up and walk across the room and back, and sometimes I open the door and have them walk down the hall and back.
Right.
That, to me, is the first evaluation of the physical, exam.
Mm-hmm.
Tells you a great deal about their neurologic system and their bones and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what could you tell from a person's posture? And here's why I'm asking this. At the meetup on Monday night, I mentioned that I came back from Sam's Club. I had to pick something up with Mrs. Finelli. And I noticed that there were so many people hunched over. Their posture is either failing, or they're not paying attention, or they don't care, or it's a sign that their health is declining. But I'm seeing people hunched over, zoned out, not paying attention to anything. I mean, totally oblivious to almost everything around them, including why they're there shopping. And I'm wondering, is this a sign of things to come? What does it mean?
I think it's part of the couch potato syndrome. For the last, 60 years, increasingly, people don't move.
Right.
They barely, they might spend 10 minutes a day standing up.
Mm-hmm.
And they get up, go have breakfast, sit down. Get up, go to work, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Get up, go home, sit down. I think that's part of the entire deterioration of health. Again, personally, once a month, I watch Antiques Roadshow on television. That's about my total television for the month.
Those guys have been under investigation for deception.
God.
I'm talking... yeah. Television shows that do those kinds of things have been investigated. We'll be right back with Dr. Norman Shealy.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to ourflags.com. That's R like rebel, R, the letter R, ourflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? Ourflags.com. That's ourflags.com. Go now.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
You're fired. According to the Small Business Administration, 75% of small businesses plan to eliminate jobs or reduce workers' hours to part-time. You're fired. According to Gallup, the unemployment rate recently jumped to nearly 9%, and the underemployment rate hit a staggering 17.9%. You're fired. 1 out of 3 young adults and 1 out of 2 recent college graduates are underemployed. Hello, I'm Keith Abel, a pharmacist and a home business entrepreneur. In 2011, I became one of those statistics myself. Instead of looking for another job in corporate America, I joined Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. We're creating steady incomes for ourselves and would like to show you how to do the same. If you want to supplement your current income, replace your income, so you don't have to become one of the statistics, then give me a call toll-free at 866-257-3105, 866-257-3105. You're fired. Don't wait till you hear those words. Start creating an extra income today. 866-257-3105.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness. The phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it. And that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and Dr. Shealy, you mentioned the Antique Roadshow. And from ABC News, they said that a pair of antique dealers looking to gain a bit of exposure by going on a public television program got more than they bargained for. The pair were indicted on federal mail and wire fraud charges and accused of staging phony appraisals on the program Antiques Roadshow to enhance their reputations as experts in Civil War-era weapons and military artifacts. So, if convicted, they could face 60 years in prison, $2.75 million in fines, and so forth. So that's the, and I know a guy, I've had dinner with him, who was on a television show, in the pawn, not porn, but pawn business. And he was on a television show about military antiques. And there's so much scuttlebutt about this particular guy, ripping people off. I won't use his name, but, I know this guy. I know that he tried to cheat many people. And, he even, is accused of engraving certain, Nazi daggers, to enhance their value with inscriptions. So, I'm talking about fraud. So there's a lot of this going on. So even, just because, here's the point, Dr. Shealy, just because it's on the radio, just because it's on television, doesn't mean it's true. There are plenty of people who have taken advantage of, people by their radio and television programs. Jim Baker, right down the road from us, spent some time in the federal pen for just that, for taking advantage, selling something he didn't have. We have, let's see, we've got Tracy on the air with us. Welcome, Tracy.
Hi, Vincent. Tracy Caesar.
Hi, Tracy Caesar.
How are you?
Very well. I'm glad you're here. I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast with Dr. Shealy that you might be calling in, and that you and I chatted for a few minutes before the broadcast. What's going on with you and your husband?
Well, my husband's been a family practice physician for 35 years, and the IRS has just recently, about 4 weeks ago, seized our bank account. They also seized all of his insurance payments. Every company out there sent him a levy and a garnishment. At the bank, they have a garnishment for over $1 million, which we don't have any of the above. And then she's harassing us. She's been to our office. Her name is Deborah Rhymes, Rhymes. She's out of the Lee Summit office. She's required us yesterday to show up on the 23rd of July in her office, claiming that some random man, along with his young boy, showed up in her office and dropped off a piece of paper claiming that we own real estate. I rent a home. We own no real estate. So I don't know if those are claims she came up with or who is dropping papers off. Anyway, they put us out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Effective immediately. 2,000 patients have no doctor.
Tracy Caesar, let me make sure I've got this right. You're the same person who has been to the Get Prepared Expo with your husband, Dr. Jim Caesar.
Yes.
Together, you taught a series of seminars on suturing.
Yes.
And you've been to the meetups. And your practice was in Branson, is that right? Branson, Missouri?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It was, yes.
And then, okay. And so for 35 years, your husband has, you have been trained as a nurse. You have a degree in nursing. Your husband, is a DO.
Yes.
And, they came after you. The IRS has come after you. A woman by the name of Deborah Rhymes, Rhymes, in Lee Summit. Okay.
Yes.
And that's the IRS office in Lee Summit?
Yes, in Lee Summit.
Do you have their phone number?
I do. 816-966-2429.
Okay, let me see if I've got this right. 816-966-2429.
That's the correct number.
Oh, okay, good. Do you know her boss's name?
I don't know her boss's name, but it's on her voicemail.
Okay, well, we're going to need to get that so we can give her boss's number. I think the one to really start calling would be her boss, and then her boss will start complaining about the calls.
I'd also like to say, Vincent, that I was also a delegate for Ron Paul in Taney County and in the 7th District. So I'm not positive whether or not their harassment and discrimination is against me for that purpose. We've also been on hold hours on speakerphone for hours on hold with the IRS with no one answering the telephone.
Okay. Who's your Congress critter?
Representative Long, who I left a message for to please call me. It was urgent, and I never received a return phone call.
Okay, that's Billy Long, Congressman Billy Long, former auctioneer, maybe current auctioneer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, Tracy Caesar, your bank accounts have been seized. Your insurance payments are being diverted to the IRS. So if you treat patients, and you've got 2,000 patients, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you had... Oh, please call me Vincent. We know each other. As a matter of fact...
I know. I was raised with manners, so...
Yeah, well, this is family. And by the way, Vinny doesn't like it when family's attacked. All right, so...
We were working free for the next 45 days. We sent letters out to our patients that we were closing the office on August the 14th, of which my husband wouldn't get paid a dime because the Internal Revenue Service seized everything. So he was going to see his patients for the next 45 days to help them to find another physician. And we closed the doors yesterday because we have to.
Let me see if I've got this right. Your rent payment for your office or your lease payment...
$2,500 a month.
Okay, so that doesn't go away.
No.
And do you have employees?
Oh, yes. I have 2 employees, and I also have a gal who does our billing that's paid 10% of what she collects. So everything the Internal Revenue Service is seizing from me right now, I still owe that lady 10% of it, of which I won't get a penny.
Uh-huh. So you are out of business. Your patients are absent medical care. And why did this happen?
The Internal Revenue Service took every penny for us to operate. We have no operating fund.
Yeah, but why did they do that? Do you think it's just because you were a Ron Paul delegate, or are they alleging something else?
Some back taxes that we're unable to pay. We're filling out an offer and compromise. We're not filling the offer and compromise out quickly enough for them. And I'm not real sure why we need to fill it out, because our income is 0. So there's nothing to compromise with, 0.
Do you have a home?
I do think that since we've known you, Vinny, and come to the USA Prepare show, they've stepped it up.
Wow.
Tracy, how much money back taxes are they saying you owe?
I believe the number's $250,000.
And yet you filed your taxes every year.
Yes, except for 2014, we have an extension because we can't get caught up. However, there's a certain person that owes $4.5 million in taxes to the IRS that gets to have dinner with the President of the United States. Also, 80% of the IRS agents owe back taxes, and I want to know if their accounts were seized, if they were put out of business. So it's discrimination.
Yeah, well, obviously, if it's government, it's evil, by definition, in my opinion.
And we'll be on Vinny's show. When is it, Vinny? The 14th?
Let me get my calendar. We're going to do a 2-hour special, and we're going to expose everybody that's involved in beating you guys up. This is Dr.
Shealy,
Caesar.
when you hear about the Justice Department's injustice they did to my husband, what year was that, honey? 1980, over $14,000. They broke the contract. He did not break the contract. By the way, I filed a Freedom of Information Act for the Department of Health and Human Services. When they sent me the paperwork, there's a whole bunch of black lines through it where they didn't want to admit the truth of what they did. He signed the papers in duress. We've paid them $375,000 on a $14,000 default. Still paying them today. $2,500 a month.
What has your husband ever been imprisoned?
Yes, he did. He did 9 months in what I call doctor, lawyer, judge prison because he would not negotiate with the Department of Justice. So they went after him for Medicare fraud. Out of over $200,000 in billing, they found $12,000 that they quote unquote couldn't be explained. They attacked him basically and put him in prison for 9 months for Medicare fraud, excuse me.
You know, I was reading a news article last night about a person who was just accused of pedophilia. It has nothing to do with you guys. But what I'm saying is just the accusation destroys a person's reputation. Absolutely destroys it. So here we have some alleged man and an alleged child going into an IRS office, and as a result of that, you are feeling the weight of the government. Is that right?
She has demanded that we show up in Joplin, Missouri on the 23rd at her office there, which is 402 South Main Street, Suite 501 in Joplin, Missouri, at 1 o'clock on July the 23rd. or she will file charges against us of some sort, and we will have to go to federal court in Kansas City.
All right. Can you stay on the line and put together some more thoughts about what is happening to you and why you think it's happening?
Yes.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, Tracy Caesar, and we're discussing Dr. James Caesar. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration system and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at IDStronghold.com look fantastic.
Healthy elimination is essential to high energy, a cheerful mood, and prevention of disease. Some of the founders of our modern holistic health thinking state that disease begins in a toxic colon. A toxic intestinal tract is the foundation for virtually all degenerative disease, and a clean and well-moving intestinal tract is the foundation of health.
I just want to say that you folks have an amazing product. I've taken whey protein products for years, and I've never noticed the results I have with your product. I've suffered with bouts of constipation most of my life. Within a few days of taking One World Whey, I noticed a dramatic change. Also, in the past few years, I've experienced symptoms associated with diabetes. I feel horrible when I've had too much sugar, and I've been getting the foot pain as well. But I've noticed in the past week or so, I'm not feeling bad anymore, and the foot pain is gone. I'm just finishing up a 5-pound tub I ordered and just got off the phone ordering more. I love your product. Thank you.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota. Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait. No!
with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Tracy Caesar's with us, and Tracy, during the commercial announcement break, I called the number you gave us, 816-966-2429, which is Deborah Rhymes' telephone number. Her ID is 0244216. So the message says, I only got her answering machine message, her voicemail, and I pressed 0 many times to get to an operator so I could find out who her boss is and get her boss's telephone number, but it wouldn't transfer because it said the operator's not available. So here we have an IRS office. As you said, you've called and you can't get through to her. I could not get through to her, and all I could do was leave a message. And it's this very sweet, non-threatening voice mail message. But obviously, she's not all that sweet since she's been threatening you. All right, so what I'd like to do is expose this case, expose all the players, expose her boss. Let's see if Billy Long is willing to get involved and cause these threats to stop. If not, we'll just talk about Billy Long and his voting record and what he's up to. I mean, so we've elected this. If you want to see something, amazing, if you want to see what Billy Long looks like, just go and type Billy Long, BILLYLONG, and you'll see what the representative from the Springfield, Missouri area, the Congress critter, looks like. I have no respect for him. I don't. And why? Because he just doesn't seem to be representing we, the villagers. That's why. So, Tracy, what else have they done to you? Do you have a home, or is that gone?
Oh, we did have a home. In 2007, I got a phone call from the IRS requiring us to refinance our home. I went through all these hoops, and I never should have qualified for the loan. That's a flat fact. But this is during the crooked time, right before the 2008 fallout, when they were giving everyone loans for any reason. Number two, they appraised my house for something absolutely absurd. Consequently, in 2010, we lost our home because our house payments then became so much we couldn't afford it. I had to write a check to the IRS in January of 2008 for $109,000 out of the refinancing of our home. Now we're living in a rented home. We do not own any real estate at all. I don't know who filed those papers or if Deborah made it up, but she will not give me a copy of them unless I file a Freedom of Information request. I also asked her to give me the video footage of whomever it was that walked in there with the false documents because I want to see who they are. She also refused to give me that. She said she couldn't. And why do I think this is happening? Several reasons. Number one, as I said before, I was a delegate for Ron Paul. And they went after Tea Party members of my, friends of mine. I was in the Tea Party before I got smart. I now currently no longer will vote ever again because it's a scam. To be honest with you, it's a scam. I saw it firsthand in Taney County and District 7. Representative Long, by the way, I would like to go on record to tell him that we are taxed without representation. We are actually triple taxed. We're not even supposed to be double taxed. We're triple, quadruple, 10-time taxed all over this country, and people really need to wake up and do some research and stop running in fear from these people. They're crooks.
You're talking about our Congress critters?
Yes, and the Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah, and I believe they get bonuses based on how much they steal from we the villagers. I'm talking about the Internal Revenue agents. I believe that well, they're not on our team. They're not on our team. I've been audited at least 10 times, and the next time when they want to do it, we'll do it publicly. We'll do it on the air. We'll expose those thugs right here.
I would like you to do it publicly when they come around with me. Would you go to the meeting with me, Vincent, on the 23rd?
Absolutely. I asked to be invited to a meeting of Congressman Billy Long within the last 2 weeks, and I was denied access. I wanted to meet with him. I denied you when I put in a request. I asked for you to come along with me. Yep. Hold that thought, and Dr. Norman Shealy and Tracy and I will be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power, a gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, on placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us. Tracy Caesar is on the phone with us, and I just posted an article, and it says as follows. Dr. James Caesar, DO, attacked by IRS agent Deborah Rhymes, 816-966-2429, as reported on USAPrepares.com broadcast. And it says, interested in the case where Dr. James Caesar lost his family home and was put out of business by the IRS? Call IRS agent Deborah Rhymes at her office, 816-966-2429 to find out more. Please report your findings to USAPrepares.com so we can report this on air. Thank you, USA Prepares. Dr. Norm Shealy, this is kind of, this comes at a time when we need more doctors, not fewer doctors. What do you think?
Well, actually there's little stuff going around on the internet that suggests that 30% of all physicians are going to retire early because of Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
Electively retire early.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mrs. Finelli
we
had...
have a family practice physician in the area that said there's going to be a suction sound of physicians leaving because of Obamacare. It's absolutely horrific.
Well, it's certainly the worst thing that government has ever done as far as so-called health care, which we've never had anyway. All we have is disease care.
That's exactly correct.
Dr.
Also, I'm
Shealy...
speaking out against vaccinations, too, so we could cover that causing me some problems. Issues, I should say.
Mrs. Finelli went to make an appointment for with her dermatologist. She's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and she just makes an appointment for a checkup. That's all she wants. The appointments are over 6 months out. You want to see your dermatologist? You can do that. We'll get you in. We'll squeeze you in 6 months. So the era of being able to go see your doctor on a moment's notice is really, really, that era, I believe, is almost gone. Tracy, in your practice with Dr. Caesar, if someone had a fever, how long would it have taken that patient to see Dr. Caesar?
Vincent, I try to work people in as soon as possible because we love our patients. We take very good care of them. If not, it's within 1 or 2 days. But specialists, us trying to book with specialists is at least 6 months out. It is horrific for urgent problems.
So what I said about the dermatology appointments is in sync with what you found.
Absolutely.
Dr. Shealy, when you were practicing, if someone wanted to come in and see you because their child or they had an acute fever or high fever, how long would it have taken for you to see them?
Well, that's not something I would see, unfortunately, because I'm not a pediatrician and not a general physician. And so, although I would love to do it, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to see an acutely ill child who really needs a pediatrician or an internist or a family doc.
Okay, what if there were a medical situation that was, quite urgent? Would it be 6 months before you would see your patient?
No. I mean, if it was something that related to what I particularly handle, or a patient of mine, I would see them within a day.
There you go. So that's gone, Dr. Shealy, right?
I'd also like to say that the doctor and I have no medical insurance. We can't afford it. It goes based on your income, thanks to Obamacare. Mm-hmm. And the doctor is suffering from diverticulitis, severe. He has 3 bulging discs in his back that we can't get taken care of. He goes to work every single day in horrific pain. I suffer from fibromyalgia. Yesterday I was having a major attack. None of my muscles worked. My legs sometimes don't work. I literally cannot walk. I can't go to a doctor because our deductible is $7,500 per person in our family. $7,500.
Well, that's what ours is.
And our child, one of our children, last year had to have medical care. It cost us $30,000 in 1 year. That's how much we had to pay to help our child.
Dr. Shealy, what we're talking about is the absolute destruction of medical care.
Exactly. Well, Vince, remember, I wrote a book when I was 59 years of age, which you can figure out is, 17 years or more ago, called Third Party Rape. So this has been building for a long time. And, of course, the AMA refused ads for the book.
I have a copy of the Third Party. The book is called Third Party Rape, The Conspiracy to Rob You of Healthcare. C. Norman Shealy, MD, PhD. I have it in my hands, Dr. Shealy. And, my copy was printed in 1993.
So 22 years ago.
Dr. Shealy, do you see the medical system returning to as it was maybe in the 1960s, and maybe those were some of the best years in terms of being able to see your doctor, have a house call if there were an emergency, and
it began to go bad in 1965 when Medicare came in. The minute the government made that big an entry into medical care, it already was dying.
Mm-hmm. And it's sad because I remember I was sick one night and a doctor came to the house. This was in the early 1960s. Can you imagine that? And it was probably $25 back then. $25 for a house call. I've not heard of a house call being made in the last 3 decades.
Yeah, it must be pretty near extinct. But then, is it any different from the education system or the government or the news system? I mean, in other words, we're not just talking about medical care, which is very important, but we're talking about the entire nation. It has gone beyond to pot.
No disagreement. We've said here on this broadcast over and over and over that we are surrounded 360 degrees by threats. And, for 5 years now, I've been saying, when we open this broadcast, converging threats are confronted daily by your instructors. John, we have Michael on the line. Can you enable it so that Michael can join in the conversation with Tracy and Dr. Norman Shealy and me, so we can have all great, excellent. Thank you for doing that. Michael, you're on the air with us.
Well, thank you, Vincent. Good morning, everybody. And, I just wanted to mention something pertaining to what you're discussing right now, that there was a movie recently I've seen called Assault on Wall Street, and it was great because it was about this guy, just a regular, hard-working couple, that invested in Wall Street for their future savings while they were working for their, through their careers. And the wife gets sick, and they're pretty young still. And the wife gets sick, so now the expenses start piling up because of the medical bills. And then the Wall Street crashes, and they burn him. And he gets ripped off, and so now he's deep in the hole, and he's stressed out beyond belief. And as the debts keep piling up because of all the medical coverage that the wife has to keep going through all the treatment. So at the end of the movie, the wife commits suicide because she feels a burden on her husband who's struggling to make ends meet to help her. But she feels like she's a burden. She's not getting any healthier. This is the bottom line. She's not getting better at all from all the treatments over time. So now she commits suicide, and he loses it at the end, and he takes out the Wall Street guys that ripped him off from his savings. Instead of protecting his investment, they ripped him off, as it always happens with a crash. So that's the whole story, showing that the Wall Street caused all his problems, and, he lost it at the end because of it. But actually, even though it's in this, you see it, but you don't realize it, that the medical establishment was also to blame because they're taxing him and his wife a fortune in costs, and she's not even getting better. Now, if she was getting better, everybody would say, well, you can justify it. She's healthy now. Fine. They did their job. And I'd say, okay, fine. But you're not even getting better, and they're still tagging her outrageous fees and costs. You see, so this is the world we're in today, and it's outrageous. These guys, generally speaking, they can't cure anything. They're tagging people a fortune while they do, as the doctor just said, disease maintenance instead of really getting them better so they can get their lives going, and that's the end of needing the doctor for that problem. And so, this is how it is today.
I can't say anything. What is there to say? Remember, I've been talking about this personally since the early 70s. That's when I actually began keeping notes and writing, stuff about how bad the system was becoming. So
Michael and Tracy, let me share something personal with you. Dr. Shealy years ago saw our son, and our son had a medical doctor at Mercy, which is in Springfield. It's a hospital it's called Mercy, and I don't think there's any mercy in Mercy.
I call it
and Dr. Shealy, Dr. Shealy calls it merciless.
Very good.
And anyway, our son was gaining weight, and he's my size, and I said, "Whoa, what are you eating? What are you doing? You're getting huge." And he said, "I'm not doing anything, Dad. I'm not doing anything." So I asked him if Dr. Shealy could meet with him, and Dr. Shealy met with him for appointment number 1. 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, appointment number 1. Dr. Shealy took him off all the meds that he was on, and he's fine. So, since when do doctors meet for 2.5 hours with a patient? Dr. Shealy did. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to rflags.com. That's R like rebel, R, the letter R, rflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? rflags.com. That's rflags.com. Go now.
This medical doctor, brain surgeon, surgeon of the year, Native American medicine man. And Tracy Caesar's on with us, and Michael from New York, and we're talking about the medical system. Dr. Shealy, you mentioned that that in the 1960s, the medical system started falling apart, if you will. Is there any way of us repairing it and stopping the kinds of things that have happened to the Caesar family?
No. The only way things are going to change when the entire system collapses, and if we survive the Civil War that will likely occur, it might be restored. I honestly, for the last 7 or 8 years, I've felt that there was at least minimum a 50-50 chance of a true internal civil war. And every year it seems somewhat more likely.
Mm-hmm. And I know, Dr. Shealy, I know people who have said to me, I can't wait for it to start. If it started tomorrow, that'd be fine. Now, I don't think it'd be a lot of fun. I really don't.
I don't think it would be fun at all.
Yeah, right. Ammo sales are up. Gun sales right now, last month, were up 11% over last year. Gun sales up. And these are, on the books gun sales. These are, through the FBI background check gun sales, up 11%. That's an enormous percentage. And they've been going up like every year. That means people want guns. That means people are concerned. I mean, it can't be that many more hunters. It can't be 11% more hunters. Okay. I think the people feel they're being hunted and they want to protect themselves. And class, please, if you have a subscription to Netflix, please consider watching Jericho. It's a great series on what I believe is going to happen to us. A lot of what is happening in Jericho in terms of the interpersonal relationships, the attacks by the government, the manipulation, the lies, the deception, the private contractors for the government, killing people with impunity. Those kinds of things I believe are going to happen. And I think to be knowledgeable about this series will really help you. And if you're not awake, you need to be awake. And if you're not going to be awake, you're going to die. It's simple as that when this happens. And I don't think it's a question of if there'll be a civil war or a revolution. I think it's coming. And if you look back at our forefathers, the men who we considered great men like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, well, their government, which would be the crown, considered them criminals. And that's probably what we're considered right here, right now, criminals. Because we're speaking out. And it's going to happen, in my opinion. So, Tracy, you and I and Dr. Caesar are going to be on the air. I've got my calendar right in front of me on the 14th. Yeah. That's Tuesday the 14th. We're going to do 2 hours. We're going to expose those involved. I've posted on the website the telephone number of the woman who is attacking you, Deborah Rimes from the IRS. And I'm going to try to call her and see what she has to say. And I'd like our class to call her and find out what she has to say. Now,
by the way, Vinny, I'd like to tell you also that we've made payments. There's substantial deductions for every year of the payments we could make. So we've been trying to pay them, but the penalties and interest are so high, we can't even make a dent in it.
Okay. And let's get Billy Long involved and let's see what he's got to say. And class, if you want to call anyone and you don't want your caller ID divulged, what you do is you type in the key star, and then 67, star 67. And that will block your caller ID in North America and Canada. Star 67. So if you happen to want to call somebody like the IRS or anybody else, star 67 blocks caller ID, and they'll receive the same message that you receive when they call you, when it says blocked, meaning they don't want you to know their phone number, so they block it. So if you want to use the same technology that they use, star 67, prior to your phone call, and you'll hear a couple tones telling you that star 67 for that one telephone call has been enabled. And then you can dial the telephone number. So, example, star 67, then 1-816-966-2429 if you're going to call Deborah Rhymes. Tracy, thanks so much for being with us. Michael, if you want to hold through the break
yes, thank you.
Ask your question. And Dr. Shealy and I'll be right back, and I've got some medical questions for Dr. Norman Shealy. Tracy, thanks so much for being with us.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically, and Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 30% off of your entire order, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver. It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness. The phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it, and that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Usually, the older one gets, the less you are able to absorb amino acids and the less you are able to repair the 100 trillion cells of your body. As a result, you'll have less energy, your tissues will shrink, and you'll become wrinkled. An older person will typically injure more easily and heal more slowly. Not fun. However, if you could consume a protein powder that is easier to absorb, then you may be able to gain back some strength, muscle, and speed of recovery. One World Whey is a highly digestible whey protein powder that may be the perfect answer for you.
My name is Errol. I'm 74 years old. You know, the taste of One World Whey is amazing. I play pickleball, and since taking One World Whey and your trace mineral supplement, I have more energy and recover faster from my working out. I used to take another grass-fed whey protein powder, but now I'm getting much better results using One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com.
Ouch! My back is out again.
Hi, Dr. Ortman with Wellspring Spinal Care. If you're experiencing neck, mid, or lower back pain, this information is for you. One of the complaints that I hear is patients receive their typical adjustment, only having to repeat them as the pain returns. Putting the bones back in place is only half of the battle. At Wellspring Spinal Care, we have the entire solution. We use the NUCA approach, utilizing three-dimensional x-rays and gentle touch technology to deliver specific correction. We then design a custom nutritional supplement program which provides essential nutrients targeting the areas of concern. With a NUCA approach and proper nutrition, you'll be on your way to a faster and more permanent recovery. To get you on the road to wellness, visit drortman.com. That's drortman.com, or call us today, 952-303-9124. That's 952-303-9124. Wellspring Spinal Care, chiropractic done right.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and if you'd like to get a copy of his latest newsletter, just go to normshealy.com, normshealy.com, and you get the same newsletters that I get multiple times per week, absolutely free, and Dr. Shealy will not be selling your email addresses. It's strictly for his use to send you the newsletters of, they're short, they're to the point, they won't waste your time, and I think you'll find them fascinating. I certainly do. Dr. Shealy, Michael from New York is with us. Michael, you had some thoughts?
I would like to mention a few things and then let you and Dr. Shealy get back into the great conversation. And Tracy, all the best to you. Regarding Dr. Shealy's comments on the pending Civil War revolution, which we all feel is definitely imminent, let's hope that we can get our act together as Americans and realize that this time all of the states must join together and fight Washington, D.C., the federal government, Washington, D.C., and clean house there. That'll clean up our major mess, and then we resolve all our state capital problems as well and take them over. And then the United States of America, constitutional republic, will then have a chance to get back on track and become the great country it's destined to become. So I hope all the Americans are savvy enough to understand this is how it has to unfold for us. Now, you guys reminded me at the last break about what you said with your son, how his health began to deteriorate from the meds, and Dr. Shealy wisely got him off it, and his health naturally comes back. That reminded me of the movie story I just mentioned, because not only did the guy's wife, she wasn't getting better in the medical establishment's hands and care, but she was actually getting worse. And that's the other important fact. She was actually getting worse while they're charging them a fortune. So it's clearly a major racket, and I just want to share with you guys real quick another analogy proving how much of a racket it is. You see all the time when you're checking out, would you like to donate to diabetes, child's diabetes, or this fund, cancer drive, all these drives and all that, right? So the bottom line is, as scientists, you have a great idea. You can cure cancer or whatever it's going to be that's going to save the world. Such a great idea, but you need money. You go approach a bunch of investors. You make the sales pitch. They love it. It's great. We're going to save the world. We'll make a lot of money doing it, but we're going to save the world in the process. It's all good. And so they give you millions of dollars that you need to get this going. And then after so many years, you come back to the investors and you say, well, I'm getting closer, but I need another $50 million. So they give it to you again. They believe you. They trust in you. And so they give it to you again. Now, how many decades are going to go by when you keep coming back saying, well, we're almost there. We're getting closer. We just need another $100 million. I mean, no investors are going to continue doing that because they realize you've got a great idea maybe, but you don't know what you're doing scientifically because you're not showing us any proof that you can do it. And so the investors are going to naturally drop right out. And this is what we're dealing with this racket. These guys are
talking about
really
You're talking about the American Cancer Society?
Diabetes, you name it. Every disease campaign and drive, it's all.
What he's talking about is the establishment.
Exactly. It's a major racket. And they're not getting anything done. Any real researcher, scientist will figure out the things once he has enough resources at his disposal to get the job done and get the results to prove he's got a true science to offer as a product to the public. And so obviously these guys, this establishment fails miserably. They're not scientists. It's a bunch of racketeers. They're getting rich off the hard work that people, and it's always the feel good. It's for the kids. Look at the poor kids with the diabetes or the cancer. Just if we donate a little more, we'll be able to help them. It's all a big lie.
Right, and if we spend a little more on education, our children will be brighter. They'll be better able to participate in society. So we've spent more than ever before, and our children are less educated than ever before.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Jim.
Just for the record for our class to know, Mrs. Finelli and I do not contribute to any organized anything. We do not contribute to any organized church. We do not contribute to any organized charity. We don't contribute to any organized anything. However, we do help people individually where we know where 100% of whatever we do, whether it be our efforts, our labor, or our money, goes. We've been approached for these cases on the air. Can you help these guys? They're in trouble. They need money. Have your money, have your class send their money to this other organization, and this other organization will help these people in trouble. And I'd say, absolutely not. I won't do that. The only thing I will do is if someone is in trouble and I think we can help them, what we will do is we will buy them food and we will ship it to them, or we will make a direct payment a couple of times to save their house. We will pay that directly. We will not give them money in order for them to spend it. We will take care of exactly where it goes, but we do that very, very, very rarely. Very rarely. And I don't really like asking people to help others that they don't know. I really would rather have our class help people that they do know, where they know where 100% of the money goes. Because I think some of it goes missing. You know, when you entrust money to others, I think some of it goes missing.
You can count on that. 5 will get you 10. That's how it is.
And I get emails from the American Red Cross. They'll cite some, the latest disaster, and they'll say, we need your help. We need your help. You're a volunteer. We need your help. Send your check. Make your donation too. They don't say, do you have blankets? Do you have food? Can you bring it over to this location? Can you help us distribute the food? Can we use your truck with you driving it to distribute food? Can you help this family who's really in trouble? No, they want money. That's what they want. Dr. Shealy, your thoughts?
Right on.
Hey, Michael, thanks so much. I've got some...
Gentlemen, that's right. And if I may say real quick, and Dr. Shealy, you guys will appreciate this because here's everything you said. It's highlighting it all perfectly. And now, it's very interesting, isn't it, gentlemen, that today they say that if when you need some medical help, that if you don't go with the doctor's and medical establishment's mainstream approach, then you're seeking an alternative, which would be natural, Mother Nature. And I always laugh and say, hold on here. Who's been around since the beginning of time? Mother Nature's approach for restoring bodies from disease. And how long have they been around? The Rockefeller Medical Association, maybe 100 years now. Who's the real alternative here? But look how they spin it around, and the people today think, oh, that's alternative. The mainstream guys are the real science. No, it's hilarious. It really is.
Michael, you're right on the money as usual. Hey, thanks so much for being with us.
God bless, gentlemen.
Have a good one.
Dr. Shealy, I got some medical questions for you. And one of them is about carnitine. And the reports are that, it's in steak, it's in milk, it's in cheese. It invigorates or improves stamina by 30%. But, we've gotten away from eating beef because we've been told, well, it's not good for the environment. But we used to have, the meal planning where we would have some meat, we would have some vegetables, we would have some, cheese, we would have, all the colors on our plate. Now we just slam down one item. And we're not eating as well. Dr. Shealy, is that right that, if we eat steak and milk and cheese, it would improve our stamina?
Of course. I never stopped eating them. But I'm only 82. What do I know?
Dr. Shealy, I've heard medical doctors say, "Oh, no, you don't need any supplements. Just what you get all that in food.
Is utter ignorance, not just stupidity. Stupidity is not having an IQ. Ignorance is ignoring the fact. Unfortunately, unless you live as you and I do on a farm and can raise at least a huge majority of your food, the food available in a grocery store is lacking in a lot of nutrients. And this has been known for 40 plus years. Ross Hume Hall wrote a book back called Food for Naught, pointing out in the mid-70s that a huge amount of the food was picked prematurely, grown on mineral deficient soils, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So one of the reasons I've lived on a farm for now 46 years of my adult life is so that I can raise as much of my food as possible.
Yeah, and away from the things that fall out of the sky from the smokestacks. Well, in yesteryear it used to be smokestacks and air pollution, and we weren't as concerned and we weren't as knowledgeable about radiation falling from the sky from man-made disasters. And I'm sure that was part of it, so you could breathe healthier air. I actually thought that, Springfield, Missouri was, 10 years ago, I thought it was a fairly safe place, but it's not because of the electromagnetic radiation. And I wanted to be away from the factories and the smokestacks of the Rust Belt, that were killing people. And I believed that we would live longer and healthier if we were away from air pollution. It's like involuntary smoking, right?
Well, of course. And yet there's no clean air anywhere on Earth today.
Right.
Because air moves fast around the globe.
Mm-hmm. Mark in Philadelphia, you're on with Dr. Norman Shealy and me. Welcome.
Good morning, Vince. Good morning, Dr. Shealy. On the subject of that, I say eat more buffalo. By the way, if people haven't tried buffalo versus beef, I'm telling you, it's packed with vitamin B12. And when you eat buffalo, you're energized and you're not tired because it's got less fat, it's got nutrition. Anyway, I'll hold.
Yeah, please do. And by the way, Mark, we had buffalo here at the farm, and guess whose farm it came from? Dr. Norman Shealy's farm. Really? No kidding. Wow. And it was great. It was great. Mark, hold on. Dr. Shealy and I will be right back. This is USAPrepares.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Huebner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Huebner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
It's very easy to be a criminal. All you need to burglarize a home is one simple household tool, a pair of scissors. If your home security system can be compromised by a criminal using scissors, then you're making it easy for them. Almost every home security system, even those sold by big-name companies, has a weakness. The phone line. You shell out $1,500, get locked into a long-term contract, and think you're safe. But a burglar can destroy your alarm in seconds with one snip. And when a burglar cuts your phone line, you're defenseless. Simply Safe Home Security is the smarter choice. Built by Harvard engineers, Simply Safe uses a wireless connection to call the cops. Scissors can't cut it. And that means your home stays safe. 24/7 professional monitoring is under $15 a month with no contract. Simply Safe Home Security keeps you safer than the other guys for half the cost. Protect your home with the alarm you can trust. Simply Safe. Go to simplysafedefense.com now for an exclusive 10% offer. That's simplysafedefense.com.
Just very quickly, CNBC is saying that there's a precipitous plunge in Chinese stocks as Beijing's struggle to halt the fall has sent waves of panic through the country's 90 million plus retail investors who say their life savings is falling into an abyss. Also, let's see, the trading has been halted for about half of the securities in China. More than half of the listed companies in China's market have now halted trading their shares, locking up investors' cash in suspended stocks. So here's the point. The point is, why would you trust your wherewithal, your wealth, your hard-earned labors translated into digits? Why would you entrust them to someone who would control them at their whim and manipulate your access and the value of your wealth? Why would you do that? So think about controlling it yourself. Okay. Mark in Philadelphia, please continue.
And if people want to know, that's how they took down the Native Americans in the United States, was to, destroy their food supply, and that was the buffalo. And the buffalo is an incredible animal. It can survive in extreme environments with extreme cold and predators and all sorts of things. There's a big reserve in northern Canada where there's a lot of buffalo there, and that exist in the wild. And anyway, so on the subject of talking to Dr. Shealy about something considered psychological, I encourage people. You're an individual, Vincent. Dr. Shealy's an individual. I'm an individual. Michael's an individual. Your caller today, she's an individual. But these people we're dealing with are corporatists. And on that note, I would encourage people to find the video called The Corporation and also read the book. I've read the book and I've watched the video. It's called The Corporation, The Pathological Pursuit of Power and Profit. It's incredibly revealing about how far corporatists will go to just dominate and steal and rip and raid and all this. And that's what's going on. They don't want individuals to stand up. And see, that's how I see you, Vincent, is to stand up in the support and protection of the fierce individual, the fierce reality of the individual. And that's why I listen to you, because you remind me of that every day, regardless of whatever you're talking about. You keep stirring that up in me, and I very much appreciate that.
Mark, The Corporation, you're talking about, I found it on YouTube just now, The Corporation full movie. It's about 2 hours, 24 minutes. Yep, that's it. Okay, I'll post a link on our website right after this broadcast. So if you want a link to it, we'll put it up there.
I also agree with you. Watching Jericho, I've watched it several times. It's really, really, really good. You know, because it could be a scenario that might happen, and it goes through the the emotionalism and how people stick together and how people divide and human stuff and how you deal with these threats. And
I've seen it. I've seen it at USA Prepares. I've seen people who are, we're with you. And, in the past, I've turned around and I've said, so where are you guys? You're behind me. Really? I can't see it. You're so far behind me. You're so far behind me. It looks like it's just me. I've seen it at the expo where the cops came and people just watched. People just watched me versus the cops. It looked like there was a problem, and it was just me against the cops. I can't believe it.
I also called in. I prefer to listen because your guests and your other callers are incredible. They got incredible perspective. Michael's incredible. I want to share, but I called in because I have personal history with this guy named Billy Long. Okay, and
Congressman Billy Long. Go ahead. Tell us the thumbnail real quickly. In 15 seconds, Billy Long.
Well, he was an auctioneer, and anyway, I don't know. We got to hold his feet to the fire. So I want to keep reminding us, Vincent, to do that every day to contact Billy Long and get him on this. You got to get him fired up if he's going to. Okay.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you want to come? Do you have some things that you'd like to share with us on the air about Billy Long and do a broadcast about it? Because I'm up for it.
Well, it'd be very brief. Maybe I'll call in tomorrow. I don't want to go too deep, but anyway, I will. Yeah, there's personal history. Okay. Personal history.
Okay. Dr. Shealy, hey, thanks so much for being with us and exposing what's really happening in medicine. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next? By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Honey, it's time for dinner. what are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at IDStronghold.com look fantastic.